What's going on, y'all? This is Q Ortiz, your local San Diego massage therapist, musician, and artist. And today, I wanted to speak about loss and handling lost, handling loss. So, losing family, friends, and there was a video I was watching. Someone in the comments was speaking about them losing their relative that they were close to, and felt that there weren't a lot of videos about that, about handling that. And I agreed. There there probably are some, but there's just that reality that when you lose someone, you you need to figure a way to deal with it. And for those of you who don't know, I did make a couple of videos, but I lost my mom, my dad, and then my aunt recently. And this was the dad who raised me. So I have my biological father, but I didn't grow up with him. So the dad who was there, that's who passed. And he was actually the first to pass. So that's where I'm coming from. That's my experience with loss. And when my dad passed, it was at a point where I was moved away from my parents. My mom she had multiple sclerosis, and my dad, he had diabetes and was slowly failing his body. So that was one situation. Also, I wasn't doing too well in school at that time, so I felt like they were shipping me away. But they were other family members were other family members were saying that I was moved because they weren't doing well, and they didn't want me to see that. But I had already seen different situations, like watching my mom decline from multiple sclerosis was already a full sight, just where I could see the whole, and I could see the result of that illness on her. So just from my dad passing, dealing with the reality that he had gone, and I also had become a different person. I was able to interpret more of his lessons, and also I shifted my life after the video I mentioned about positivity. Just when I joined the track team and started doing more positive in my life, he wasn't around for that. So he wasn't able to see physically what I had done with my life. And that was sad. Just not not having that, not being able to have those conversations and go, hey man, you were right, and I see why you acted like this, and man, I want to know more about you and more of what you're thinking, what your mindset is, because at that time I didn't have the curiosity, but I noticed different things about him. I didn't know how to ask more questions about what he was thinking. So that was one thing that I wish I was able to do, because now I still think about that. Just like, wow, like, where were you? What was your mindset? Wow. So he passed. I was able to dedicate my track season to him. So I dedicated the track season to him. And that was one way for me that helped me to live with that situation of him passing, just putting his energy into what I was doing. And that helped. So then with my mom, later on, that was a few years after, I was a little further from her. But the thing with her was that there were situations that happened earlier on to where I already saw that I was losing her. So I sort of prepared myself because I could see mentally where she was going, and also physically where she wasn't able to move at all or walk at all at a certain point. I saw her on life support. So that was another vision, another view of her, where she didn't pass on that, fortunately. But I received the call that she did pass. And yeah, and at that time I engaged with the greenery, you know, with the grass. And I noticed that that didn't really, it didn't have the effect. Like, it didn't really change anything. And that was a part of me sort of transitioning a bit off of that, because I could see that it didn't really do anything in that sense, right? To cope or mask anything. It's just the reality is there. So with my mom, that was tough. And it's still like, even today, especially with both of them, but with mom, it's like you see there's different holidays that celebrate Mother's Day, right? Father's Day. And also being around people, they have their parents, people older than me still having their parents, and me not. So it's a constant reminder. It's a constant reminder. I don't see it just going away. I think it's more accepting the reality of life and death being a part of life. Just, it's going to happen to all of us. So just realizing that, and not expecting everyone to be here forever, even though it does hurt, because we build these connections with people, and it's definitely an experience to get close to people, and then they go away, and you just, you're left with that memory of them and their presence. But if you believe in the, like, somewhere out there, like whether it's heaven, or say you believe in energy where it doesn't, it's not destroyed, but it's just transferred, And if you believe that they're still with us, that our parents or our loved ones are still with us, then that's also comforting, because then you can have those talks. You can at least say what you need to say and know that they do feel you and know that they are watching over you in your experience. And that's what I've come to, at least, knowing that they're here and feeling them, and also putting their energy into my crafts. So still dedicating what I do to them, having their names with me. And even more recent, about a few years back now, closer to 4 years, yeah, maybe like 3.5 months, my aunt passed, and we were really close. We got close after my parents had passed. We got super close, just like another level. And yeah, she called me and let me know that she wasn't going to make it. And it was just like, wow. Like, so I got to go see her, and we were together, and she was telling me stories, and I got to help her organize and just get that kind of closure that I definitely didn't get with my mom, definitely not with my dad. Because yeah, with my mom, she couldn't really talk, so that wasn't possible. And yeah, trying to remember where this cut off, because this is recording has been cutting off a little bit, so I've been having to continue with the message. I think the last thing I was speaking about was my aunt and how close we were, where it's, oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, where I'm not on here specifically giving advice. I know when I read this comment, it was speaking about advice, but yeah, I think this is more of a message of relating, and perhaps some of my insight can aid, but not advice, not saying what you should do or what anyone should do. More so, it's something that I've dealt with and I deal with daily, because I'm constantly seeing people's parents and relatives, and know that for me, that it's sort of, that's cut off. So yeah, even in that, it's still connecting deeper with myself, connecting deeper with other people, having the intention to still spread positivity, to still have peace with reality, accepting what reality is for me, because I can't change that. And that's why I can find peace in that. It's sort of like that serenity prayer, if you're familiar with that, accepting what you can't change, what you can change, and leaving it up to God. And that's what it is. It's just, this is life. These people have transitioned on, and we wish them well. We hope that they were able to just find a better place, and that, especially if they were suffering here, that they're in the freest form, and able to go where they please. Yeah. So if you like this video, click like. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you want to continue on this journey with me, click subscribe and we can vibe. Peace out.